much do you want? It's a simple enough question. How much what? How much wealth? How much prosperity? How much gold? How much silver? How much filthy fiat? How many houses? How much in stocks? How much fine art? How many gemstones? How many businesses? How many friends? How many employees would you want? Or how about how many of whatever I left out? Women? How many women? You dog. But still, how many? We're gonna ponder if that's okay with you. Alex Jokala, back at first. First class, thousandaire. Hit that like button if you would, friendo. Your likes help me grow this wealthy community. And you're in it. And if you're not, you probably will be. But give it some thought before you hit that subscribe button. Yeah, there's no getting out once you're in. I'm just kidding. That's a rumor meant to disparage a whole community. But still, give it some thought. Anyhow, it's going to be a great show today. We have a lot of news to ignore. I went to the LCS, local coin shop, and picked up another old silver dollar. I believe it's week 64. If you don't already know, I pick up an old silver dollar each week. Sometimes I buy good ones, sometimes I buy great ones, and sometimes I buy not so great ones. A constant, slow drip of 100-plus-year-old American silver dollars. Is it dumb? I guess time will tell. It's not my only habit. I have others. We'll probably go over those again too. Oh, someone hawked some serious bling bling, chunky gold. I'll show it to you. I recorded it. It's nice, but there's definitely a lesson to take away from it. I've been stacking half dollars the past couple months. The premiums have not been bad. I think I prefer them over generic silver. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Half dollars or generic silver? I find myself getting into coinage that's been in use at some point, but is also made of precious material, as opposed to the pure silver rounds and bars, or even the government-issued bullion products. And when I say precious metal coins that were used as money at some point, I don't solely mean the United States. I'm intrigued by it all, but yet I'm not really trying to become a coin collector, I don't think. And when I say coin collector, I mean in it for the numismatic value, with little or no regard to the material value. I care about the material value. It's nice to know that you can count on that material cost if all else fails. Although I assume numismatic value may be a savior for when the material cost fails. Speaking of material costs, check this thing out. Apparently there's 8 troy ounces of gold in this. It's heavy. I mean, not too heavy, but it's heavy. You can notice the weight. And it's iced out with diamonds, which the camera does no justice for. Looks much better with your eyes. Now I see why Darth Vader wanted to take the helmet off. Luke must have had one of these on. So apparently the previous owner spent $37,000 on this. And they sold it for $8,500. That's not a haircut. That's a skinning. And some butchering, too. I can pick this up for $10K. What do you think? This could add some flair to the unboxings. I'm not sure I would know how to verify this without damaging it severely. You would probably need something much more powerful than a Sigma, but I honestly don't know. I do know that once you get something like this, you're gonna want a matching necklace and maybe a boss pinky ring. I'd probably have to tighten up the rhymes a bit. Yeah, I'm just too busy for all of that. This is what I'm here for. Here's the 3 best ones I could find. I was gonna buy all 3. I was thinking about it. But no, one old silver dollar each week. But the main reason is I have a looming credit card balance. I have not paid any interest or fees yet, so we're still good. So anyhow, I'll be taking home one of these Morgans. This is a nice one. We have breast feathers, slight toning, some luster, a bit of a glorious cartwheel. And then there's the third one here. If you're a good card player, you could probably tell by the sound of my voice, I'm going to choose this one. It has color toning. And great detail. Not quite as defined as the other two. You can see here, as we look at the breast feathers, they're a bit undefined. But there are still traces of them there. I would classify it as meaty still. A nice balance of eye appeal, material value, and collectability. There were a lot to choose from in the bin this week. It was fun. And I got to see that gold bracelet. That was fun. It's good to go to the coin shop once a week and be around people with similar ambitions. Although I guess I should give credit where credit's due, because most of the people I associate with are stackers, or at least have a hoard of their own. How about you, friendo? Are you the only stacker amongst you and yours? Or does everyone in your crew have a stash, like a bunch of pirates? It's good to have friends with money. Am I right? Am I right? No doubt, broke people can be entertaining. But for the most part, you should be paying attention to who's around you mostly. And believe me when I say, even if you're not, others are paying attention. You are who you hang around. I heard that today. What do you think? Is that true? I think it is, unfortunately. I don't know about you, friendo, but I'm trying to grow. I asked in the beginning of the video, how much do you want? Me? I want more than I could ever spend. Is that greedy? Heck no, it's not greedy. If you don't want more than you could ever spend, then chances are you're going to become a burden to someone or society. I want that cup to overfloweth, and you should too. Not financial advice. I mean, you can be a peasant if you want to. Here's another interesting thought that I just pondered. If the wealthier you get, the better off the world is. Then the world should probably scramble to get as much resources to you as possible. And don't mistake me, I'm definitely not saying I'm there. But doesn't that make sense? Now, if you think for some reason I'm just justifying greed, here's how I define greed. If your acquiring of resources is harming someone, and even yourself, then that's greed. But if you're working hard or smart or both to provide the world with goods and services, where's the harm in that? I don't know. Did you think I picked the right one? It has some toning on it, but it's really not that spectacular. Perhaps just not in this light. It's not a high premium Morgan dollar anyhow. I just wanted it to stand out from the others in the stack. I did almost pick out a shiny one. You know, like the ones that have that brand new look. I think I've stayed away from those because I'm afraid of buying something that's been cleaned. Perhaps I'll start researching on how to tell. I mean, it shouldn't take that long to figure it out. Maybe I'll start taking a loop to the coin shop. I kind of want to get some old silver half dollars, and they can get kind of pricey. And I would not want to buy a cleaned one. There's something about a coin being branded cleaned. Reminds me of the graded comic book world. There's purple labels on some of the slabs that represents restored. And personally, I have no interest in those. Today should be an interesting day to watch the markets. Oh, it's August 5th, 2024. And many assets are in the red. And it seems to be getting deeper. How low will we go? And who knows? I certainly don't. I can pretend to if you like. Do you think this is the big one, friendo? Should I be buying up distressed assets or cans of beans? Maybe both. I feel great. I'm certainly worth less on paper, though. I'm excited about the drop in asset prices, actually. I've ramped up my Bitcoin purchasing. I've been doing like $100 a week. I did 150 recently as well. Years ago, it would be disheartening to buy the dip. And then the dip dips. But if you believe in an asset long term, such as I do about Bitcoin, then the 10% plus drawdowns don't look so bad. And trust me, I know it can get much worse. I've seen it spike down to 3,000 from over 20K during the flu season. The way I see it is sometimes you gotta type that order in, shut your eyes, and press that buy button. And enjoy that burn. No pain, no gain. Don't take this as advice. I'm not advising you anything. It's just me personally, right now, I would rather buy distressed Bitcoin than distressed stocks. I am eyeballing some companies. I probably will not go with any indexes. At least, that's how I feel right now. I just don't see the point of buying a lot of zombie companies being held up by a couple companies that are probably in valuation bubbles or overbought. I don't want to try to guess the bottom of a dip of a company that's already selling at 40 times earnings or valuation. I'm no expert on these things. In fact, I'm kind of under the impression that the experts are not even experts on these things. It reminds me of the guy riding through town really fast on a horse, and someone yells to him, "Where are you going?" And the rider yells back, "I don't know. Ask the horse." I always liked that one. So I should have 64 old silver dollars here. I like my silver dollar collection. I can think of many more worse habits to have than buying one silver dollar each week. One of the reasons I started doing it was I just wanted a taste of silver each week to stave off large purchasing. Also, I'm under the impression that silver dollars hold their value if the silver market, should go down. I'm not sure how true that is, but I guess maybe we'll see. And the downside of this play is, say if silver went up to 50 or 60 bucks, then the collector's premium would go down significantly on these. Profit in dollar terms would likely be made, but would have been much more vast or significant if I had just bought generic silver. So those are the trade-offs as I've heard. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Do you think there's truly a method to my madness, or is it just madness? Now, I don't want you to think that I see silver negatively. I believe there's upside potential, but the thing is, I just believe there's also downside potential. And keep in mind, I keep a ratio in my portfolio. So if you hear me saying I'm selling off some silver or buying some silver, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a good or bad time for someone else to do the same. It just means I may have too much of it or too little of it relative to the other assets I have. But I am only human. And people tell me that all of the time. They say you're so human. So sometimes I will speculate. Say, for instance, if silver drops below 20 bucks and you hear a beeping sound, that's the sound of my truck backing up. I remember when the floor dropped out after the 2011 bull run. I would like to say I was a genius and I sold my silver when it was on the way up. And I did. I sold around $40. A little over $40. I think I sold all of it, if not almost all of it. But not because I was a genius. I desperately needed a vehicle to go to work, and I had no cash. Back then, I was lower poor. Now I'm upper poor. With short-term ambitions of being lower middle class. We'll get there. And beyond it. Or we won't. But the one thing that's guaranteed is I'm gonna try. Yeah, so I had to sell my silver. And I bought almost all of it under 20 bucks. Love that sound. But then the price of silver went down to $13, I think. Those were great times watching stacker videos. There were lots of unboxings. Many of them were stacking a lot of premium items as well. And why not? It was all so cheap. And we all knew it. At least I like to think we knew it. Every week I would buy silver and I would look at my asset value still staying the same or going down a little bit. I remember my boss at work at the time, who's like 10 years older than me, saying, "You really like putting money in that and losing it, huh?" And I did, because you don't want to buy silver when it's on its way up. I like to sell when it's on its way up. Not all at once, little by little. The same way I like to buy it on the way down, little by little. Not calling any tops or any bottoms. Just cost averaging and being consistent. For the most part, remember, I am only human. So if the price should get to 20 bucks, close to 20 bucks, oh man, or even under it, yeah, I'm going to buy a lot of it. These things, they're on my mind. I mean, look at the markets right now. But who knows? It could bounce back in a major way. Or it could continue to decline. Who knows? Maybe you know. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Hey, did you hit that like button? I'm working hard on these for pittance. It is rewarding in other ways, though. I hope you enjoyed the ponder. Subscribe for more and you will get more. But not today, friendo, because that's it. That is it! Thousand Air Radio, wicked job. You still here? I skipped dinner last night. I got the day off today. Oh yeah. Mistakes will be made. I think it may just be a protein day. Steak, eggs, maybe later some steak and eggs. Or some eggs and steak, I don't know. Some cleaning and organizing. But there'll definitely be a long walk today. Gonna take that long walk. 12K a day every day. Adios, amigo.